Hi everyone, and welcome back to a Rivalry Week edition of the Justin Cage Show. Thought I'd throw it back this time with a classic gray Virginia Tech hoodie. Not my original by any means. I've had this for a while at this point, but the first one wandered off a long time ago. Not sure when, not sure with who. Such is the way with these things. In hindsight, I probably should have gotten a series of cheap hoodies and just given those out when people needed them, but hindsight. Whoa! Now, before we get to our picks this week, I thought I'd have a little bit of a rivalry story time talking about some of my adventures in Charlottesville. The first time I went there was 2005. A bunch of roommates and I went up there, and we had a bunch of connections because a lot of Blacksburg folks, you pretty much either went to Tech or you went to UVA. And sadly, a lot of them went there. Now, we had no holds barred, given the rivalry nature, but it was still a lot of fun and good-natured stuff. After the game, however, which was very successful, afterwards, we were walking out, minding our own business, enjoying an absolutely gorgeous day, when a UVA student came up to us and started talking trash after getting whooped, by the way. And he proceeded to talk to one of the smartest people I know, who was a double major and an engineer and a general crazy person, and started to talk to him about how he wasn't smart enough to get into UVA. Again, unprompted. We don't know this person. I piped in and said, "Hey, I just want to thank you for living up to every single stereotype we have about your university." And without missing a beat, he said, "No problem, bro," and wandered off. And we were all just flabbergasted. And that, I think, is the handle. That's what UVA is. Unprompted, unearned arrogance. With that, let's get to our picks. The Hokies have cratered and the Cavaliers are on the rise behind a healthy Brendan Armstrong. This is the very definition of a game where you toss the records out, if only because they're so bad. Neither program has had the kind of season it wanted or expected, but a win here could ease some of that disappointment. Don't let anyone tell you the battle for the Commonwealth Cup doesn't mean anything. Virginia had its best season in a dozen years in 2019, but they celebrated like they'd won the ACC after beating Tech. It means a lot, and the Hokies desperately want that cup back. The Cavaliers are the better team here, but Tech will be more motivated. Virginia hasn't won in Blacksburg since the epic comeback in 1998, and this year will be no different. Virginia Tech 28, Virginia 24. Now for our ACC Game of the Week, North Carolina versus Miami. If both Clemson and Notre Dame manage to get into the college football playoff, the winner of this contest will find themselves in the Orange Bowl. Both teams are looking to finish resurgent seasons with a top 10 ranking, and a couple more wins will do that for either program. Almost every game Carolina has played this season has been close, repeating the theme of their 2019 campaign with slightly better results. Miami has been improved as well, and De'Aaron King is worthy of the price of admission. That is, if you can find a place where fans are admitted. I think the Canes' defense is enough to slow the Tar Heels and snag a big win here. Miami wins 31-20. Thanks, Justin. Now, before we get going, just want to remind you to check out sonsofsaturday.com, as always. Check out the great articles from our staff, and make sure to keep going through the weekend, including my cheers and jeers column following the game. Win or lose, we'll see what happens. Check out the podcast, of course, as well this week, where the boys reeled in a big fish in the form of a wahoo. Chris Long, longtime defensive lineman in the NFL, and a who never beat the Hokies. He talks about the rivalry, talks about what it means, and he also talks about the game itself. Now, make sure to be responsible, have a lot of fun this weekend. If you have a who in your household, make sure to keep your distance, socially and otherwise. As always, wear your masks, be safe, have a lot of fun, enjoy the games.